Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Ryan Wesley Routh? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Ryan Wesley Routh was born on February 18, 1966, and lived in Greensboro, North Carolina. He married in 1989. This marriage lasted for 14 years. In 1991, Ryan was honored as a super citizen by the police in Greensboro after chasing down a suspected criminal. In 1998, Ryan graduated from college with a degree in mechanical engineering. He worked as a roofing contractor in Greensboro. A year before graduating from college, Ryan started building his criminal career. Over the years, he accumulated over 100 charges in the state of North Carolina. He was convicted of possessing a weapon of mass destruction, possession of stolen property, hit and run, carrying a concealed weapon, resisting arrest, and driving on a suspended license. During one incident in 2002, Ryan was stopped by the police. He drove to his roofing business and barricaded himself inside, only to surrender 3 hours later. In addition to criminal activity, Ryan was the target of several civil suits. He was ordered to pay tens of thousands of dollars. In 2018, Ryan moved to the state of Hawaii, where he was self-employed building storage units and tiny houses. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On September 15, 2024, just before 2 a.m., Ryan Wesley Routh allegedly arrived at the Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach, Florida. He had an AK-47 style rifle, a GoPro camera, and 2 bags containing bullet-resistant ceramic plates. Ryan set up a sniper's nest in a tree line along a chain-link fence near the 6th hole of the golf course. At around 1:30 p.m., which was 11 and a half hours later, Donald Trump was golfing at the same course. He was surrounded by Secret Service agents who were there engaging in an activity they referred to as protecting a presidential candidate. As Donald was golfing, agents moved ahead of him to scan for potential threats. When Donald was about 1,200 to 1,500 feet away from Ryan's position, a Secret Service agent walking along the perimeter of the golf course saw the barrel of Ryan's rifle sticking through the tree line and opened fire on Ryan. Leaving the rifle and his other belongings behind, Ryan ran to a black Nissan SUV and drove away. A witness spotted Ryan leaving and captured an image of his vehicle, including the license plate. License plate readers detected the Nissan driving north, and law enforcement responded. At 2:14 p.m., Ryan was pulled over about 40 miles away on Interstate 95 near Route 714. He was arrested without incident. Ryan did not ask the police why he was being arrested. The license plate on the Nissan was stolen from a Ford pickup truck. On the next day, September 16, Ryan was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. If convicted, he faces a maximum of 20 years in prison. He may face other charges in the future as well. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Ryan Wesley Routh appeared to be highly interested in the war between Ukraine and Russia. He even went to Ukraine in 2022, hoping to fight in the war, but he was rejected due to his age and lack of military experience. He then pretended to be some type of big-shot recruiter of soldiers. Ryan spoke to the media about paying off corrupt government officials, forging passports, and getting the U.S. military to transport Afghan refugees to Ukraine. Ryan appeared to believe that he could stop the war in Ukraine by placing flags in the ground and standing next to them along with other people. He would then invite Russia to bomb them. Ryan believed that his death, as well as the deaths of other people unwise enough to join him, would mobilize the world against Russia. Ryan wore an American flag and said, quote, I want to make sure that if the Russians kill me, they know who they are killing. I'm an American," unquote. It seems pretty clear that Ryan had no idea what he was doing and was simply wasting everyone's time. He was a busybody inserting himself into a conflict that had nothing to do with him. Perhaps this was to gain attention or to feel important. After his failed mission to Ukraine, Ryan self-published a book about his efforts to recruit soldiers. The price was $2.99, so it was extremely overpriced. The book contained graphic images, including those of corpses, and Ryan encouraged people to assassinate Donald Trump. At one time, Ryan was a Trump supporter, but he started supporting Democrats instead. Since 2019, he made 19 donations to Democratic candidates. Item number 2. There are a few unanswered questions regarding this assassination attempt. Even though Donald Trump has engaged in golfing frequently, his trip on September 15 was not on his public schedule. How did Ryan know that Donald would be there? He may not have known. It's possible that Ryan was planning on being there every day until Donald showed up. He knew Donald would arrive eventually to play golf. Ryan was a convicted felon. When he arrived in Florida from Hawaii, how did he manage to obtain a firearm? If Ryan was in the tree line for 11.5 hours, how did the Secret Service fail to notice him there earlier? Why didn't they secure the golf course before Donald started playing? The Secret Service should have known that many photographers have taken pictures of Donald through fences and tree lines at golf courses. One clue this was happening would be the actual photographs, which have been published. There have also been photographs taken of openings in the tree line where a person could easily penetrate and hide. The Secret Service appears to be unable or unwilling to protect Donald Trump. Maybe they do not have the energy and speed required for his adventurous lifestyle. On a golf course, Donald Trump hits a golf ball, walks toward it, then hits it again, walks toward it, and so on. This can go on for hours. How can anyone expect the Secret Service to keep up with that incredible pace? It would be like trying to catch lightning. They would have to have the stamina of, well, a golf player. Another possibility is that the Secret Service has just given up, frustrated by the lack of resources. For example, the Palm Beach County Sheriff said that Donald Trump received less security than a sitting president because he was only a former president and presidential candidate. Item number 3. It seems clear that Ryan was interested in killing Donald Trump. He didn't wait there to take in the scenery. Donald was not the only one on the golf course looking for a hole-in-one. What was Ryan's motive? It's possible that Ryan was inspired by anti-Trump rhetoric. For example, he posted on the social media platform X, saying that democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. This statement is consistent with some made by Kamala Harris. For example, she has said, "We are fighting for our democracy," and "Our fundamental freedoms are on the ballot, and so is our democracy." The rhetoric for this election has been particularly acrimonious and dramatic on both sides. Each candidate is trying to convince voters that if the other candidate is elected, democracy will collapse. The election is not just about taxes, the economy, or social issues. Rather, it is existential. Playing on people's emotions can be hazardous. Maybe Ryan was simply gullible, insecure, and grandiose. He heard this rhetoric and thought that he needed to take action. Only he could save the world from certain destruction. Ryan was looking to be a hero. This explains why he took a camera. He wanted to document his ascension to glory. Another possibility is that Ryan was obsessed with the war in Ukraine and angry with Donald Trump for his position on that war. Ryan failed to accomplish anything in Ukraine and left the country humiliated. This was his big chance to redeem himself, because in theory, without Donald Trump being around, somehow the situation in Ukraine would magically improve. Ryan was desperate to be thought of as someone significant. It's not all bad news for Ryan. He did partially accomplish his goal. He may not have completed the assassination, but he was responsible for something exciting happening on a golf course, which has never occurred in recorded history. Item number 4. In July 2024, there was an assassination attempt against Trump when he was in Pennsylvania. Ryan's attempt occurred just over 2 months later. Not surprisingly, this has led to a number of left-wing and right-wing conspiracy theories. On the left, some are saying that there was never an assassination attempt. Ryan must have been paid by Donald Trump in order to build sympathy. On the right, some people are claiming that Ryan was sent by the Biden administration and given access to Donald's schedule. There are many factors driving these conspiracy theories, including a lack of critical thinking skills. One unusual element that people struggle to believe is how Ryan sat for 11.5 hours along a tree line waiting for Donald Trump. Like during that time, he should have been overcome by boredom. I don't think this should be surprising. Sitting in vegetation next to a fence for hours is only marginally more boring than playing golf, and people do that all the time. Now moving to item number 5. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Ryan Wesley Routh was self-centered, impulsive, aggressive, violent, vindictive, erratic, attention-seeking, irresponsible, immature, grandiose, falsely believed he was special, had a sense of entitlement, and was exceedingly creepy. A longtime neighbor of Ryan in North Carolina said that Ryan was a little cuckoo and that people were afraid of him. The officer who arrested Ryan after the barricading incident told the media that she figured he was dead or in prison by now. A former employee of his roofing business said that Ryan had a reputation for doing stupid blank. For example, he threatened to blow up the entire Greensboro Police Department. A former volunteer in Ukraine said that Ryan was combative, argumentative, delusional, and a liar. I think that Ryan tried to kill Donald Trump out of some distorted belief that he would become a hero in Ukraine. All the anti-Trump rhetoric may have facilitated this decision, but for the most part, this was probably about Ryan's grandiose delusion. Ryan will probably adjust pretty well to living in a prison cell. After all, he's a big fan of tiny houses. Years ago, he was a super citizen. Now he will have to be content with being a model prisoner. Those are my thoughts in the case of Ryan Wesley Routh. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They consistently generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.